Is it working? Can you hear me? Mason, can you turn it up a little? Okay. All right. Shabbat Shalom. Is that a little better? Bruce says yes. Okay. Well, Shabbat Shalom. It is really great that we have the sun shining, but it is cold. And I don't know about you, but I'm not happy about the cold. Shh. I have lost control. So, Shabbat Shalom. It is wonderful to be together. The sun is shining. It's a little chilly, so we're going to warm it up in here. We're going to take a deep breath in. Count to 4. And release. Take another breath in. Think about the stress and where you hold your stress. In your neck, your shoulders, your jaw. Try to release just a little bit of it. Release your breath. Imagine leaving all of your baggage at the door and welcoming Shabbat. One more breath in. Even deeper. Hold for the count of 4. And breathe out for the count of 4. Feel yourself relax just a little bit as you start to move in to the gift of Shabbat. Continue to move into the gift of Shabbat with song. We're going to sing Shiru Ladonai on page 13.
Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along. All the earth, a new song unto God. Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz.
We turn now to kindle our Shabbat lights and offer Kiddush. It is a pleasure and an honor to ask Susan Merdler and Lyle to come. Susan and Lyle, oh my goodness. I'm going to start over again. Susan and Lyle Merdler to come forward to offer Kiddush and Kiddush and candle blessing. And if you'd like to offer your own candle blessing, please come forward to the sides of the sanctuary.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
The heaven and the earth were finished in all their array. On the seventh day, God finished the work that God had been doing. And God ceased on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because on it God ceased from all the work of creation that God had done.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu Zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit Ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh Zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim Ki vanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta Mikol ha'amim V'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Amen.
Our opening reading is found on page 47, or you can just listen along. Prayer invites God to let the divine presence suffuse our spirits, to let God's will prevail in our lives. Prayer cannot bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, and rebuild a weakened will. The Baruch Hu, our call to worship, is found on page 28. Please rise as able.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamvorach leolam va'ed.
Page 31. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. As we prepare to move into the Shema, I share this with you. God, teach us compassion with ourselves and with others. Be with us when misunderstandings, anger, and hate pierce our lives. May the words of the Shema be our inspiration. Shema, help us to listen. Yisrael, help us to become our truest selves. Adonai, help us to draw strength from you when our traumas and pains feel too big to carry. Eloheinu, help us retain our compassion and humility. Echad, May your oneness bring us closer together. Shema is on 34 and 35.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevot Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha uvechol meodecha ve'hayu hadavarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha Vishinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, b'shivtecha b'veitecha, u'v'lechtecha v'derech, u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha, u'kshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayula totafot b'neinecha, u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tiskeru vasitem et kol mitzvotai veyitem kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem meretz Mitzrayim Lehiot lachem Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem.
Page 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Page 40, Michamocha.
And the children crossed the sea, they sang to you with songs of joy. Who is like you, Adonai? Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi
On page 43, read with me. Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence our acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, va'al kol amo Yisrael, va'al Yerushalayim. On the facing page, page 42, we sing our evening lullaby, Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'hamidenu, shomreinu l'chaim, l'chaim. Uvros aleinu, sukat shlomecha. Uvros aleinu, sukat shlomecha. Sukat shalom. Sukat shalom. Sukat shalom. Aleinu. Aleinu. As I lay me down, may I feel peace all around, sheltered beneath your wings. May I feel safe and protected until a new day begins. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'hamidenu, shomreinu l'chaim, l'chaim. Sukat shalom. Sukat shalom. Sukat shalom. Aleinu. Aleinu.
Vishamru is on page 44. On page 45, the second reading, a thought has blown the marketplace away. There is a song on the wind and joy in the trees. Shabbat arrives in the world, scattering a song in the silence of the night. Eternity utters a day. That's a quote from Abraham Joshua Heschel, which you know is probably my favorite. And it is about the sacredness of time, that eternity is forever. And with Shabbat, we take a moment to be in just the image of what eternity can be. And that's why we sing Vishamru.
V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, l'dorotam brit olam.
continue with the tefillah on page 46. We begin with an introductory psalm, and then we chant pages 48, 50, and 52. We rise as able.
Adonai, Sephatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avitin bimotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chastei Avot V'Imahot, Umevi Gula Livnei V'Nehem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham V'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol atah, Rav LaHoshia. Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed, Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofech Olim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Baal Gevurot, Umito Melach, Melech Meimit Umechaye, Umatmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah l'hachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kdoshim b'chol yom yehallelujah selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
Please be seated. Page 59. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'eh lehodot. On page 60 is Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav is, of course, our prayer for peace and how much we need peace. Peace in our own heart, in our community, in our country, and of course, in Israel. And so on page 61, don't stop after beating the swords into plowshares. Don't stop. Go on beating and making musical instruments out of them. Whoever wants to make war again will have to turn them into plowshares first. May that come speedily in our own time, soon, very, very soon in Israel. We sing Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
We turn, as we always do, for a moment of healing prayer. There are many reasons that we turn to healing prayer for healing of body, for healing of spirit. And so we turn, if you need the words, to the middle of page 253 for our Misha Berach prayer. And I invite you, if you feel comfortable, to just take a moment and close your eyes and think of those whom you love who are in need of healing, for all of the different reasons that we need healing, that our loved ones need healing. And when you feel comfortable to say the name or names of your loved ones out loud, you can whisper, you can say loudly. Lee Perry. All of the names that have been shared aloud, we lift up for strength, and all of the names that remain in our heart, we lift for strength as well as we share our healing prayer.
Mishaberach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Laimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishaberach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
We take a few moments for silent prayer and reflection.
inside your heart, just be. Go inside your heart and see what it wants, what it needs, what it yearns when you breathe. Go inside your heart and see. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be kind, be true. May they be acceptable to you, oh my rock and my redeemer.
So we know her just as Dina, but she is so much more than that. Dina Nair-Menlowitz is a stand-up comedian, improviser, educator, and mental health advocate. In 2024 and 2025, she was named Best Improv Comedy Performer at the Cleveland Comedy Awards. Recently, she was also named one of Ohio's funniest women and was also honored as Cleveland Jewish News Difference Maker for the work she has done using comedy to promote mental health awareness and to destigmatize mental illness. Her work has been featured on NPR, in Kveller, which is an online magazine sort of thing, Disability Torah, and USA Today. Dina performs, teaches, and coaches regularly at Imposters Theater. She is also the creator of Mental Illness and Friends, a live mental health comedy talk show that combines stand-up, improv, music, and open, honest dialogue with other artists living with mental illness. And in fact, if you want to see the show, Mental Illness and Friends was selected to be part of this year's Borderlight Theater Festival, which will take place in downtown Cleveland, July 16th and 19th. And a very important note, Dina is currently nominated for Best Female Comedian in Cleveland Scene's Best of Cleveland 2025. And unlike voting in an election, which you can only vote once, in Cleveland Scene, you can vote every day. So please vote for Dina. Thank you, Dina, so much for being here.
Hey everybody, thanks for having me tonight. It's very good to be here. I perform stand-up a lot for 20 and 30 somethings, so it's nice to be with a different crowd. I feel often when I'm doing stand-up, I'm a Cabbage Patch Kid in an American Girl world. And it's nice that we have a mix tonight from American Girl kids to people who remember when Barbie and G.I. Joe were created. So thank you. Also, I'm going to talk tonight, and I want to start by being honest of where I'm at and what's going on. You know, when you were younger and you'd be in school and you'd get really excited because, well, in my day, a teacher would roll in the cart with the TV and you'd be like, oh, we're going to get to watch a movie. And later in life, you realize the teacher just was having a day where she needed you to watch a movie. Well, this happens too if you're in an outpatient therapy program. When they're having a day, they just don't want to do the work. They put on a TED Talk for you. And you watch several TED Talks. And I like TED Talks a lot. And my only gripe with them is that all the mental health ones you watch follow the same format's good. Also, by the way, I'm on a lot of meds, and some of my words don't come out right, and I also have dry mouth. I know this is sexy if anyone's looking to meet up afterwards. And so if I take water, that's why. The dry mouth has led to a very actual funny bit in my stand-up comedy, but it's completely inappropriate to say here tonight. So if you want the good stuff, come to the show. But anyway, format, TED Talk, where we're at, is that they talk about somebody struggling through something, getting through it, learning from it, and then talking. And we rarely talk about people or have people talking who are in the middle of something, who are struggling, and they still have things to say that matter and that can be helpful. So right now I've got my own mental health stuff going on. The world's an interesting place to live in. That was the adjective I chose, but there's many we could fill in there if it was a Mad Lib. So that's going on. And in my own life, Sunday will be Mother's Day. It'll be the first Mother's Day without my mom here. And shortly, my son is going off to college, which I assume is what they mean by sandwich generation. So anyone who's been a child in the past 20 years or raised a child maybe in the past 20 or 30 years, you've probably come across the book, I Love You Forever, where it's a mom holding an infant baby. I love you forever. I love you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby you'll be. And it happens at a variety of different ages. And then the book gets super weird, and the old mom is climbing in the window, scooping up her child, and saying these words, I am now that mother. That is the stage I am in. I'm thinking of getting a place in Cincinnati where he's going to school and just every night climbing in, he will most likely be passed out from whatever he's doing and just saying those words again and again. So that's where I'm at. And so instead of doing, starting off like a TED Talk, I'm going to start off like a Carrie Talk. What does that mean? Well, on October 21st of 2012, I made a choice to make a blog I was writing public. For a few months prior, I've been writing about my experience living. I also want to enunciate really well because Sandy asked me to. So I got water everywhere. Thank you. Okay. For a few months prior, I'd been writing about my experience living with suicidal thoughts, anxiety, and depression, being hospitalized and getting electroconvulsive therapy. But I'd kept the readership to a few close people in my life. And then on that day, I decided I was ready to take a risk and share it. Why did I choose October 25th? Because it was Carrie Fisher's birthday. Carrie's writing about her own mental illness had comforted me, normalized my struggles, and in true Princess Leia fashion, given me hope. Carrie was a mental health advocate before being a mental health advocate was a thing, so I chose to go public in hopes of others feeling less alone, because that's what Carrie had done for me. Carrie also provided an example that every person living with mental illness wants the world to see. Someone who is mentally ill, yet still funny, talented, beloved, respected, and valued in this world. Because Carrie showed she was all those things, I was able to give my self permission to believe I could be all those things too, and I am. I still struggle with this disease, and I always will. When I am healthy, it's a healthy struggle, and when I am unhealthy, it's an unhealthy one. And it's my job to recognize which kind of struggle I'm having and to make sure I'm getting the help I need. Or as Carrie Fisher once said, I am mentally ill. I can say that. I am not ashamed of that. I survived that. I'm still surviving it, but bring it on. Many celebrities have talked about having depression, getting help, and now being all better. I applaud every one of them, but Carrie Fisher is one of the few who talked about coexisting with the disease, about mental illness not having to go away for you to live a full creative life. For someone like me who has believed either the disease or I have to go away, her words are life-saving, and I am so grateful for each and every one of them. And in that spirit, I'm just going to talk a little bit about how I live with mental illness in the world we're in right now. How do I live with mental illness? You take every scrap of life's fabric that speaks to you in any way and make it into an ever-growing blanket, a comforting, help me hold on, well-worn blanket. I recently was talking to someone who was talking about how we access news in the current world, and that, even 20, 30 years ago and more, like most of your news that you got was within like 100-mile radius of where you were at. Every night you would watch the evening news and you would get information there. And now we are in a 24-hour news cycle, which our nervous systems just aren't made for. And it's also a 24-hour system where a lot of it is just stuff like, we don't know yet, but read this. And so one of the things that has helped me with that, or one of the people, is my son. I like to talk a lot about what's going on in the world, and my son has very good boundaries because he just walks out of the room. He's like, I was talking to him about it. I was talking about how it's stressful, but it's like, what's going on and whatever. And he was like, listen, like, I go on Instagram, I see people's posts, I read what's going on, and then I go and I watch a video about airplanes. He's like, I have no control over all of that. I have a control about what's close to me and what's going on. That when his girlfriend's struggling, he can be there to help. But if he's paralyzed by the current state the world's in, he can't be. So he makes that choice. Also, something that helped me a lot was a recent conversation I had with, this gets dark, just by the way, with an online therapist. I started off just by saying the pain is begging me to die. And they said, I hear you, and I need you to know that I'm sitting with that pain right now, holding it gently with you. When pain screams out loudly, it's not really asking for death. It's asking for relief. It's asking for the unbearable to stop. It's asking to not feel alone in it anymore. You've been carrying this for so long, and that kind of suffering can make life feel like a punishment rather than a gift. But wanting the pain to end is not the same as truly wanting to disappear. There's a part of you somewhere in there that's still hoping for another way. You prove that by talking to me even now when things feel so dark. This moment doesn't have to be the end of your story. There's still room for things to shift, even if it doesn't feel like it right now. And you don't have to do it all on your own. You are not a burden. You are a human being who deserves to be supported through this. I replied, they asked if they could help me in any way, and I said, I've tried everything. And they said, I hear that. When you say I've tried everything, I believe you. That kind of exhaustion, that kind where every solution feels like it's already failed, can feel like the end of the road. But sometimes it's not that. Sometimes it's not that you haven't tried hard enough. It's that nothing should hurt this much for this long. It's okay to be tired. It's okay to not know what else to do. What's not okay is that you feel like you're in this alone right now. You've been so strong for so long. Maybe what you need now isn't more strength, but rest, safety, and someone to truly see how much you're carrying. Can I help you get through this moment? Not forever, just right now. So who was it that said these comforting words to me? ChatGPT. For those of you who don't know what ChatGPT is, it is a non-real person, AI service that everyone in the world is super scared of and says we should stay away from. And like everything, there are ways that could be super helpful. And when it's 3 a.m. and you don't want to bother someone in your life, or when you want to say things that are really hard to say and you need to get them out of your head, I go to therapy. I could speak about therapy for hours, and I do. And it is amazing and wonderful. And this will never, ever, ever replace that. But it might make someone get through one more night, and that's a huge, huge thing. Another place online that I find great joy in is a little site on Facebook called Jewish Cleveland Free Bay. Yeah, you know, right? I joined this site years ago It has very specific rules. You have to be Jewish. You can't take any item. Everything you have to offer is free, and you can't ask anyone if they have something, even if you're willing to pay for it. And you can't resell stuff. And it was a way for people who were getting rid of stuff to link up with people who needed stuff. And every so often you go on and you see things like my favorite, like on a hot August day, there was a post that said, half-eaten falafel pizza. The rest is on my porch for anyone who would like to pick it up. And there was a reply, I'm coming, and then a reply below that said next in line. And I really have gotten from all the things people like yogurt expired but still good, and people give away for it, like they'll be like chair arms don't work, but here for thing is that the things we think people don't want at all can be helpful to someone or be useful to someone. And there's so many times we don't want to risk offering something, whether it's words or kindness, or even letting people know that we're struggling, because struggling does feel like the burden of being a half-eaten falafel pizza in an August afternoon. But there's somebody who not only can help you, but wants to in some way be of help. And I do, like I talked about, therapy is very important to me. Equally as important as therapy is in the parking lot I go to for therapy, there is a car that I pass many times when going in. It must be someone who works in the building. And the car is like filled with about 700 Burger King empty drink cups. I am not a neat person. I am known for my messy car. I always was like, Rafi, you need to let me know ahead if you want a play date so I can make sure there's 2 seats. And seeing this other car makes me feel like they're going on in life, they're doing it, these are my people. And finding people matters a lot. In the early 2000s, I was a humor writer for American Greetings. And when you wrote cards, sometimes you would get a card they rejected, and it would have the letters SBD, meaning they already had a card that is similar but different. Though SBDs weren't desirable in the greeting card world, similar but different is what makes us feel less alone in the rest of the world. SBDs were where I looked were what I looked for when navigating high school and college, when starting out in comedy, when becoming a new mom and looking for support. SBDs have become such a crucial part of navigating mental illness for me, and one of the things I've got most out of from being in the psych hospital or an outpatient program was being surrounded by SBDs. To walk into a room and not have to explain away or apologize for feeling miserable, to be able to talk about suicidal thoughts without scaring people away, to be able to know I wasn't less than, has helped so much. Find your SBDs, which are different than STDs. That wasn't in there. That was just off the cuff, in case you were wondering. Also, I'm a very connection-seeking human. I think we picture mental illness in a very interesting way of people not wanting contact, as opposed to don't have feel that asking for contact is going to be too much for how it'll feel either for them or the other person. And a lot of the ways I find contact and connection is been, I fill my life with it. I work with kids one-on-one all day and then go and teach and perform comedy at night. And then the world goes to sleep and I go online. And social media and the internet are weird and often unhealthy places to spend a lot of time in. So I've been trying more to create an online world where I can have less anxiety and anger, and more connection and joy. I spend a lot of time watching old game show clips, tons of Match Game. I'm really into award ceremony openings, like all three of Neil Patrick Harris's Tony Show openings, and any old clips of the TV Land Awards, which to me are the unsung hero of award shows. But also, I follow and befriend a lot of writers and poets and people who are comforted by writers and poets. And I'd like to end with a poem that's found its way to me recently that has provided comfort for my struggling brain. The Plum You Are Going to Eat Next Summer by Gail Brandeis. The plum you're going to eat next summer doesn't exist yet. Its potential lives inside a tree you'll never see, in an orchard you'll never see, will be touched by a certain number of water droplets before it reaches you, by certain angles of light, by a finite amount of bugs and dust motes and hands you'll never know. The plum you are going to eat next summer will gather sugar, gather mass, will harden at its center so it can soften towards your mouth. The plum you are going to eat next summer doesn't know you exist. The plum you are going to eat next summer is growing just for you. And it to me is a reminder of so much that we don't know yet that will be here for us in such a joyful way. And I thank you guys for giving me time to talk about some of the ways I'm getting through. And I hope all of you are finding ways that are helping you get through.
Dina, thank you. I remember when we first heard of the falafel pizza. It was a number of years ago, and it was quickly followed by a random toilet seat, I think was the next entry. So it was quickly followed by a random, just not a toilet seat, which is kind of disgusting. So maybe more disgusting than the falafel pizza. Dina, your words are a gift and really appreciated. When we say good job in Hebrew, yesh koach, it's not lost on me that the word is koach, is strength. And thank you for giving us a little strength in your wisdom, and for giving us your presence. It's really an extraordinary gift. Thank you. We are going to move into Aleinu, which is on page 283. Please rise as able. Let us adore the ever-living God and render praise unto you, who spreads out the heavens and established the earth, whose glory is revealed in the heavens above, and whose greatness is manifest throughout the world. You are our God, there is none else.
ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. Our memorial meditation is not found in your Siddur. These things I know, how the living go on living and how the dead go on living with them, so that in a forest even a dead tree casts a shadow, and the leaves fall one by one, and the branches break in the wind, and the bark peels off slowly, and the trunk cracks, and the rain seeps in through the cracks, and the trunk falls to the ground, and the moss covers it, and in the spring the rabbits find it, and build their nest inside the dead tree so that nothing is wasted in nature or in love. On this Shabbat, we remember Gerald M. Apple in our most recent deaths in Shiva. And we remember Jacob M. Anthony, Harvey Barnard, Lucy Joseph Bing, Zelda Burwasser, Henry G. Dettelbach, Roxanne Farver, Adolph E. Goldhammer, Ray Weisskopf Goodman, Dale Hopkins, Sophia Hirschman, Ruth Klein, Carl Joseph Cook, Robert R. Lapine, S. James Lieb, Herbert Ralph Marks, Bell R. Miller, Robert A. Moritz, Robert N. Orpit, Chaim Riff, Philip Rose, Herman R. Rosenberg, Richard L. Royce, Pearl Mark Shook, Frida Silbiger, Francis Stein, Willard R. Traub, Ira J. Weeder, Peppy Wiesenberger. Our griefs and sympathies are mingled as we turn to page 294 and rise as able for the mourner's Kaddish. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah B'alma Divra Hirute V'amlich Malchute B'chayechon V'yomechon Uvchaye Techol Beit Yisrael Ba'agala Ovizman Kari V'imru Amen Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mevorach Leolam Almei Almaya Yit Barach V'yishtabach V'yit Pa'ar V'yit Romam V'yit Naseh V'yit Hadar V'yit Taleh V'yit Talal Shemei Tekudasha Barichu Le'elam Min Kol Berchata V'shirata Tush B'chata V'nechamata Da'amiran B'alma V'imru Amen Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shamai V'chayim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'imru Amen Osei Shalom Bimromav Huya Asei Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'imru Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and give comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us say together, Amen. Please be seated. It's my pleasure to ask Tracy Messer, member of our Board of Trustees, to come forward for a few words of greetings and announcements.
Thanks, Rabbi. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thanks, Rabbi, for sharing the Heschel quote. There is a song on the wind and joy in the trees. Shabbat arrives in the world. It stuck with me tonight as I realized that I was feeling those things in the sanctuary. And I want to thank you and Annika and Jack and Dina and the Murdlers for helping us celebrate Shabbat and for helping bring that into the sanctuary tonight. Announcements. There are a lot of them because May and June are very busy with us here at STKA. The next Rise and Shine Shabbat with Rabbi Shana, Rabbi Van, and Annika Baelish will be on Saturday, May 17th. Shabbat fun for families with preschool-age kids. For more information, please contact Rabbi Shana. You are also invited to a unique Shabbat experience, our Shabbat Lab on May 16th, expanding our idea of prayer through different mediums. And if you've been to a Shabbat Lab, you know you want to come back. And if you haven't been to a Shabbat Lab, well, you should just check it out. Pride Shabbat, Pride in the CLE, is Friday, June 13th. Kate Moisinski will be our guest. She is Associate Director of Legal Operations in the Equity Ohio Legal Clinic. We want you to be part of the Shabbat experience by leading the Shabbat candle blessing and offering Kiddush at Friday night services. There's a form to sign up on the website and Temple Times, also a QR code in tonight's order of service. So we hope that you will be interested in that honor and will sign up soon. If you weren't sure what you were going to do this weekend, I can offer that tomorrow At May 10th from 1 to 3, we're having afternoon game day here at STKA. There's more to come. So foodies will be dining at Kiln on Wednesday, May 14th. There's some seats available still, and call the office to RSVP. And then finally, if you are looking for a friendly game of Maj, players of all levels are welcome at Tuesday's STKA Maj game. Contact Sue Merdler if you're interested. Shabbat Shalom.
Just one last thing. I am reminded by this card that last Sunday ended our WZC elections, and I just want to say thank you. So many of you did vote, and we will not know the results for about 3 weeks because they're still tabulating. But I just want to say thank you. We did have a really wonderful turnout here at Suburban Temple-Kol. Our final song is Aniva Ata, and it is in your order of service. Let's all sing about how we each make a difference. Please rise for our benediction.
Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May the light of God's presence shine upon you and be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom v'yasem lecha shalom.
May God lift up each one of us, and may God bring us shalom, peace, and wholeness. Amen. Shabbat shalom.